Up in the frozen wilds of Canada, a man named George was loading crates into his truck outside a quiet bar. Just another night, until two local drunks started asking questions. Where was he heading? Out by River Road, George said. They joked about him visiting the old weirdo, but George didn't laugh. That man out there, he said, wasn't crazy, just different, got a deal is all. But when one of the drunks muttered about the man being a mutant, things turned sour. George just rolled on, saying he'd been making deliveries since he was 11. Deep in the snowy woods, a deer grazed quietly, unaware that death was watching. An old man leapt from the brush, Wolverine, claws out, rage boiling, but the deer escaped and Logan hit the ground face first into snow. He stood up slow. These days everything hurt, even pulling his claws back stung. That voice in his head reminded him, arthritis comes for everyone, even him. His body had taken more beatings than most men could imagine. The voice asked if he was afraid of what was coming. Logan didn't answer. He just kept walking, looking out over a land that didn't care if he lived or died. Back at his cabin, George showed up, handed over a fishing lure. Small talk turned quiet when George gave Logan a letter. Logan opened it. His hands trembled. Someone I knew died, he said. Some days later, rain fell as Logan stood at a funeral. Victor Creed, Sabertooth. The priest said Creed found peace in the end. Logan didn't know what to make of it. A tear slid down his cheek. After all their fights, all that blood, this was how it ended. George asked if Creed had been a friend. No, Logan muttered. He was an animal. Still he came, because deep down, he thought maybe there'd been a reason for it all. That they were tied together somehow. A woman approached. Emily Rand. She'd worked for Creed. Said Victor had talked about Logan. Respected him. She handed over a second letter, marked with a strange crest. Later, as George drove them through Alberta, Logan drifted into dreams. Dreams filled with steel, pain, and forgotten names. Weapon X. The lab. The day they took away who he was and replaced it with a weapon. They arrived at a forgotten estate, old, massive, and covered in silence. Logan told himself he shouldn't be there, but something was calling. Inside, George noticed the same crest from the letter. Logan took off, following a scent only he could smell. It led him to a grave. John Howlett, 1885 to 1897. A red Japanese book lay on top. Logan picked it up, sniffed it. Someone knew too much. George asked what it all meant. Logan explained that this land once belonged to the Howlett family, his family, long ago. But the past, it's a blur. All he had were fragments. George asked why Logan couldn't remember. Logan said it was the mutation. His healing factor didn't just heal, it erased. Pain, trauma, gone. He unsheathed his claws, said someone had done this to him, someone from his own country, the Canadian government. Weapon X. Then it hit him. That scent. It wasn't random. He'd been lured here, watched, played, maybe even by Creed himself. Fury took over. He threw the book, grabbed George by the throat, suspicious, panicked. What if George was one of them? But he let go. Looked to the trees. They're still out there, he said. Weapon X. They're everywhere.